Living together but feeling alone,
Why couples lose intimacy.
and how to reignite connection.
So, welcome to this mini masterclass on this very important topic.
My name is Jonathan McCall,
My name is Sasha.
and we are regenerative leaders and intimacy mentors.
With over 20 plus years of combined experience in healing, mentorship, and holistic lifestyle. I know we look young. I'm 35.
I'm 42. That's hilarious. We've worked with thousands of individuals worldwide, now mentoring leaders and couples to rise in love.
We also lived outside of society for 5 years. This was a time when we were in Costa Rica from 2017 to 2022. And in that time, we really were fully committed to our healing and awakening journey. I myself just quit my 6-figure corporate job to essentially move to Costa Rica and start a business, a hotel business. And
yeah, I sold my house and basically everything I had, all my business, and just weaned off my clients within basically a 5-month span. And yeah, just moved to Costa Rica with a few backpacks. Yeah.
And then we had this epic, amazing 5-year journey where we met each other. We ended up getting married. You see a photo of us right here looking at the whale's tail at the South Pacific coast of Costa Rica. And after that, we were called to leave our perfect bubble, perfect life and community to essentially reemerge back into society. And it took us 2.5 years to find the next home that we were looking for.
Yeah. So this gives us a really unique perspective on basically society and all the dysfunction, just the ways that so many people are just so disconnected from themselves, each other, their families, their community, from nature, from higher power.
Yeah, and it was quite a thing to witness coming back into society from, this almost perfect spiritual bubble that we lived in, and then re-emerging back into a society that is quite disconnected and in pain.
Yeah, we're like basically what we observe and what we still are is most people are generally overwhelmed and burnt, either on the brink of burnout or burnt out. And this, even to our surprise, include the space holders, the facilitators, who were a little more resourceful and maybe not quite burnt out for the most part.
But close.
Yeah, but pretty close.
And for a lot of people, burnout just became this norm. That this is what you do.
Yeah. And it's not. It's basically it's a testament of how highly dysregulated society is, and where everyone's just go 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 go, and there's little space for rest and relaxation, and therefore connection.
Yeah, so you may have a common belief if you're struggling with intimacy and emotional connection and safety in your relationship, which is we just need more time together.
This was actually the number one comment that came up when we asked hundreds of couples, what their base challenge was. It was this, and the truth is, time isn't the missing ingredient; capacity is.
Yes, because without the nervous system capacity, extra time can just lead to more frustrations or fights, but not closeness.
Yeah. So some facts for you. Emotional physical intimacy requires regulation, not just romance. It really doesn't matter how much love there is in the relationship. If you don't have the nervous system capacity or the ability to self-regulate in stressful times, it's, you're really going to be challenged to deeply connect.
And this just, goes to show that when humans are overwhelmed, the body literally shuts down to intimacy because it prioritizes survival.
Yeah. And this ends up dropping libido, arousal shuts down, emotional availability shrinks, and people just don't feel like engaging in sex when they're stressed out. And that's just the truth of the matter.
Yeah, and there are many studies that show how stress directly correlates with decreased desire and connection. And actually, on the next slide, there was a study in 2025 by Paired App, which is I believe, like a dating or couples app, that found that 52% of couples cited stress and mental health concerns as the number one barrier to sex and intimacy, which makes total sense.
Yeah, basically saying that stress disrupts energy levels, communication, and willingness to engage in to initiate sex.
So we can relate to this challenge because there were multiple times in our 6+ years together when we stopped having sex, despite it being one of the most, biggest gifts of our union.
Truly. And I said, this is when it really became apparent, like it wasn't about a matter of lack of love between us. Our love was only getting stronger. It was just, we didn't have the capacity.
So this is when we lived at a conscious community in Costa Rica for 4 months, and we were always surrounded by people.
Yeah. And yeah, the truth is intimacy requires spaciousness, it requires presence and nervous system capacity. If you're already full, then there's no space for connection with another.
Yeah, and this came as a surprise to us because we thought it would be the opposite. And actually on this photo, we're literally laying down, in this, on the floor, and we're watching a movie called The Village of Lovers by a dear friend of ours, Ian Mackenzie. And you can find this movie, villageoflovers.com, I believe. But it's quite ironic that, we stopped having sex.
This is basically talking about a conscious community in Portugal called Tamara, and it's where they practice polyamory, but in a very conscious way. And this is the irony, right? Because here we are in a conscious community, we weren't practicing polyamory, but we were actually most challenged at this time in terms of remaining intimate, because as I said, we were living very close proximity to many people, and we're just continuously engaging and
just full on social interaction.
Yeah.
And
despite having being close to nature and continuously grounding and doing everything we could to to regulate, it was still did not have the capacity at the end of the day.
So once again, what we learned is that the real key isn't growing your nervous system capacity for connection.
Yeah, this is a trainable skill. So the benefits of the work, when you expand your nervous system capacity, intimacy feels effortless.
Your trust deepens.
Emotional safety returns.
And sex becomes a natural expression again, it's meant to be a natural expression. If it's forced, it's not fun.
Yeah, and relationships become a source of power, as they ought to be, for healing and manifestation. We're going to talk a little more about that in the next video.
So the question for you is, do you crave more time, safety, and intimacy with your partner?
If you answered yes, the shift isn't about finding more time, it's about creating more capacity.
And that is why we created Root to Rise, a couple's journey to learn our foundational intimacy practice.
That allows you to enjoy amazing communication, emotional safety, deep trust, and amazing lovemaking.
And this is a screenshot of the feedback that we received from our previous cohort of Root to Rise that says, immediately after the session, this was session number 3, I felt such a high level of connection with my partner. I felt emotionally, physically, and spiritually light. This session offers a lot of invitations on how we can help each other and help ourselves. I also believe the truth-telling practice will be very impactful at creating deeper intimacy. So on week 3, we focus on truth-telling and conflict repair. And it's one of the most surprising practices for people because everybody's so afraid of, telling the truth. But then when we present them how to do it in a way that builds intimacy, everybody usually loves it, and it creates amazing intimacy.
Because it allows people to express their needs, their desires, they're just all those things they've repressed and they didn't necessarily feel safe to express. And when you start to express that, you liberate so much energy that really, it can really heal. It's very healing for yourself and your partner, and
can liberate a lot of stuck energy that can now be used for whatever you want to use it for. Deeper connection, manifestation, joy.
Yeah. So I'd like you to just take a moment, maybe close your eyes if you'd like, and just imagine feeling fully met by your partner,
as well as deeply seen.
Safe in each other's arms, even in the most busiest seasons of your life.
Plus, being introduced to sacred sexuality in its purest form. So as a bonus to what we provide in Root to Rise, we actually give our most popular Part 1 and Part 2 Sacred Sexuality Masterclasses that are no longer available to the public for purchase. They're only available to people in Root to Rise and our private clients.
Yeah.
And you will receive them.
Yeah, and these are really powerful transmissions that are shared from embodied experience. This is not stuff we just, like watched on YouTube or read from a book. These are practices. This is a perspective that is gained from like really doing the work and years of like
using sacred sexuality for healing, empowerment, and awakening.
Yeah.
We tell our story in it. We have a great story when it comes to that, and they are offered in Root to Rise. So are you ready to rise, not fall, but rise in love?
If so, we invite you to join the next Root to Rise cohort.
Or you could also explore private mentorships for a more tailored journey.
Yeah. Either way, I encourage you to subscribe and share with any of those other couples you may know that could really benefit from this work. And let's build a community of power couples. This is really what the world requires, and this is who we want to surround ourselves with as well. So that said, thank you so much for your time, your energy, your attention.
We would love to hear what resonated in the comments below, and see you in the next video.
Yeah. Blessings.
Take care.